Hi!
Hello.
Long time no see. We're back from our little absence. Actually, it's been a month. And we're in a new location. I'm just kidding. It's a patio and it's pretty hazy out there today.
Finally outside.
Yeah.
We had a chance to make a video outside.
I know. No, we don't get to do that very often. But anyways, I'm Jenny and
I'm Natalie.
And we are a knitting podcast from Tri-Cities area and near Vancouver, BC, and that's why it's so hazy here, because we have forest fires in the interior, and it's apparently blown down all the way to Seattle and Portland.
Yeah.
Portland.
We don't have any fire in here, but we have the smoke and weather not very pleasant.
It's actually kind of like a hothouse effect, almost, right? It's like...
No, I would say it would be hotter if the sun was not shielded by the smoke. But it's not pleasant.
Not very pleasant. But today we have something very exciting for you. But you have to listen to the end of the episode. We partnered up with Knitting Fever, that are distributors of LYKKE needles, and I will be reviewing this kit later on in the episode, and we are giving it away. The giveaway rules will also be announced at the end of the episode, so listen to the very end to see how I like the needles. I'm going to be very detailed because that's what I usually do with needles, and we're actually really excited because these are the hottest needles on the block right now.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's after them and they're sold out everywhere, and this is actually a long kit, not a short kit. It's a full-size kit. I just have one tip out that's I'm going to show you as part of the review. Okay.
What else?
Couple of things.
About the auction.
Yeah. So I just received the latest stash from Elena. Some of it is actually her yarn, which was dyed by her, in the last year. So if you guys want to get a hold of it, I'm going to be listing a lot of stuff. Probably on Monday or Tuesday in her group. So just to let you know, there's going to be an auction taking place. This is just one of the avenues I use to let people know. But you can follow us or follow me at Sweater Freak Knits on Instagram, and I'll repost when her auction starts, and the money will be, of course, going back to her family. There's going to be
tell people who is Elena.
Yeah, if you don't know, Elena was a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, and a very prolific member of a knitting community and designer, and she's got over 160 patterns, which are knit by knitters everywhere, and our large active group. And unfortunately, she passed away in June, so I've been slowly getting into the groove of things, and one of her wishes at the end was to have me sell her stash. So that's what I'm gonna do, and hopefully, we raise more money for them and help them to move forward, and you guys get to have her beautiful yarn, because I really had troubles not leaving it for myself. But I already I went through all of it and took pictures of it, and there's some gradient kits and speckles and minis, so I mean there's lots and lots of stuff, and other brands too, like it's there's a lot of stuff, and it was kind of like sitting there and talking to her, because I knew what her plans were for every little thing she had, and she used to call it yarn porn. So
yeah.
I think she may have invented that term, or uninvented, because I think a lot of people use that term. But anyways, and Natalie went on vacation.
Yeah, I was for a long vacation to Europe, and I visited four countries. It was London.
In a month.
Only in England. I was only in London. Then I went to France. From France we took a bus to Spain, and from Spain we flew to Italy, and from Italy back to London and back to Vancouver. And I had big plans, visit all knitting stores, but unfortunately my family was not interested in visiting knitting stores, so the only knitting store I was visiting, it was in Barcelona.
Oh,
And
you
it's,
need as well?
yeah, it's
That's
a
a good
very
one.
cute store. It's in middle of the Gothic quarter, and next to Picasso Museum, very easy to find.
Wow.
And the owner, she's American girl, I guess married to Spanish boy. She was not at the moment when I was visiting the store in Spain. She was visiting her family, I guess, in States. But I met with a bunch of other people. There is a lot of knitters in Spain. And
That's kind of weird. It's a hot country. Like,
yeah, many young girls actually, and I was able to attend one of the knit night. It was the only day
Did you
I was
knit
with it. Not really. I had a plan to meet a local dyer. It's a Greta and Fiber.
did you?
Yes,
You
I did.
Yeah.
And I met other girls who was knitting, but I was just talking and saying, "Oh well, I'm from Canada," and it's a big surprise for me that you knit in here. It was extremely hot, and they didn't have a proper air conditioning. It was a huge fan, but yeah, everybody was knitting, and the new people
With wool.
yeah, with wool, with different
It's
kind of
just
fabric.
crazy. Like it's.
Yeah, so it was a very pleasant night and very pleasant people I met, and yes, and I brought, of course, some yarn from the Spain. I show you. It's.
I also bought yarn from Europe, but I didn't go to Europe. I bought it online. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's quite a collection I bought.
Okay, you know what? She actually stopped knitting. Like,
Yes,
she's
I
in
did.
a knitting mojo break thing, which, you know, you gotta start. I mean, because look at this. How could you not
So
knit with this? You have to start again.
I brought bunch
So
of.
this is a kit?
No,
Or is this just random?
Random. I picked from the website Greta and Fibers.
Do they have
and-
Instagram account?
Yes,
They do.
they do.
How did
They-
you find them?
I don't remember actually. Honestly,
Did you stumble on them on Instagram, or did you?
no. I was specifically looking what I can get in Spain, and I
Oh,
found
okay.
this dyer. I contacted her, and she's a very pleasant woman, very nice. She drove actually 100 kilometers
To meet you?
to Barcelona, yes,
Oh
to
my
meet
God.
me.
You
So,
know what I like? Look at this. They have. It tells you how many microns the merino
so
has.
this is another
19
color.
microns. This is interesting because we usually don't get that detailed on this continent over here. Oh, these
Some
are
I
beautiful.
bought, and some of the skins I don't remember. She gave me as a
Good.
gift,
Oh, that's nice of her.
and
These two go together really well.
yeah.
Yeah, I know you like these white with
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I got some stitch markers from her as well.
the. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get into stitch markers. I think. I know it's like a rabbit hole.
So
It's-
anyway,
yeah.
yeah, that was my only visit to the yarn store during my
Oh.
vacation. But
It's
it was
more than I
very-
did because I didn't get to get in. It didn't get to go to any yarn stores. I wanted to go to a Burp for keeping warm, but then the area it's located supposedly, like it's Oakland, right? So it's not that great, and I kind of just didn't know my way around, and I was like, well, whatever. I'll just
I didn't
skip
go
it.
any store in London. I heard that there is a lots of good stores, but yeah, I
There's
was so
tons of
busy.
dyers in Europe, actually. Like, I mean, I follow some of them, and there's a lot of dyers in Europe, especially in Northern Europe, which I guess it's not too surprising.
When I was in France, I was thinking to get to some knitting store to see this.
La Bien.
yeah.
Oh, that would be nice to go, because you know, like her shipping is really expensive. Yeah, like we would have totally bought a skein or two, but it's just, you know,
Very expensive,
yeah.
yeah.
To us, it's like it's you know, but her colors are gorgeous. I mean, I always salivate over it. I mean, I have enough yarn anyway, but I did get a walk collection yarn from Germany. And so I got two kinds. Of course, I can't buy just one kind of yarn. So I got the mohair silk mohair. This is a thicker weight than the Rowan, right? Like, see, it's 400 meters for 50 grams, as opposed to 500 for 25. So it's half the thick. I mean, sorry, it's twice as thick. And this actually looked blue on the website, but I like this because I have a lot of yarn that's like cat service studio that can be used with that, right? I really like that. And I got something atypical for me. I got this color, which is very atypical for me, but I really like this weight, and nobody has this. This is 600 meters for 100 grams, so it's in between lace and fingering. It's that weight that you can kind of wear here all year round, right? So, and 2 skeins is enough for a sweater for somebody like me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's 1,200, sorry, it's going to be 1,200 meters. So you don't, I mean, it's very economical.
Oh, I didn't think about it.
So I'm going to swatch it this week. I really want to start on these 2 yarns because for some reason, I'm really drawn to these 2 colors.
I want their lino, and she
didn't have it. I know, I thought of you, she didn't have it. So, and I made, these are the 2 running tests in my group, is I made a sweater, and this is going to be out at the end of August. So this is Colorwork sweater from Brooklyn Tweed, and it's funny because I have another Colorwork sweater that I made years ago, made from Telemark by Knitpicks. It weighs so much compared to this. This is so light.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn Tweed.
This is so light. I mean, you know what? I really love, I don't know how it's going to wear, but so far I love Loft. I know everyone says it, and now I can say that too. Shelter, not so much, but Loft, for me, I think would work. I mean, depending how that's going to wear. And I made a shawl using the top-down sideways construction that I really like because it's easy peasy. And this is Cat's River Studio yarn.
She has gorgeous yarn.
Yeah, and just gorgeous yarn, you guys. I mean, I'm just waiting for her to get more, you know, recognition because it's gonna happen eventually, I think, because she's that's the thing. I find that there's a lot of, there's another dyer, I don't remember her name, that's also used to be a watercolor artist. And Elena also dyed yarn, and she was an artist too. And I think the people who know how to understand color, how to layer color, they're the best at, you know, dyeing yarn as well, in terms of how they, you know, approach it.
They know how to mix properly and not to get the dirty color, but be something beautiful.
So I finished these 2, and then for the past week and a half I've been kind of swatching, and I finally started another project, but I've been kind of in a strange mood this summer. But anyways, we want to keep it light this podcast episode because we're going to do the review. So she loves Knit Pro, which is Knitter's Pride needles, and these ones are very similar, but there's some differences. So LYKKE review. I'm going to review this kit right now for you guys, and usually when I do a review, I go through different things. So in a needle, this is the kit this is the needles that I put together. I'm just going to move this a little closer. I'll show you how to put this together. Yeah, I'll show you how to put this together. But normally what I do is I review several points. So a tip profile, how smooth the needle is, how smooth the transition from the tip to the cord and the cord. So these, you know, these points I think are the most important ones. Like, I can't think of anything else. So the tip profile, these are very similar to Knitpicks and Knitter's Pride. And I need I
have to use the key.
I need the key to untie it, but I'm gonna show you how to put it together, because a lot of people don't know how to put this how to put these things together, and they can't, and then they get upset and whatever, right? So,
but you have to use the key for sure, because some people get upset when it's unscrewed. So
I do that
not
too.
Unscrew.
Don't get lazy. Use a key.
Yeah.
So how to put this together? You take a cord in your dominant hand. Sorry, a non-dominant hand. So for me, I'm right-handed. So I hold the cord in my left hand. Then you take the tip in your right hand, and this remains stationary. This you have to gently find the right way to screw it in, and you just screw it in with your dominant hand until it's completely smooth, and then you use a key. Now these keys, I've had a lot of trouble with these keys, but I have trouble with keys in general, okay? So I think it's me and not the keys, because she actually went through the keys. We went through the kit, and I had more trouble than she did.
It
with
works
the keys.
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So. But because I'm using all the time
because
this
I
kind
don't.
of needles.
Yeah, I don't use knit picks, so I have a lot of them, but I don't use them very often. So the keys, okay, this won't work. So what you do again, you hold. This is a bit different. You hold the tip in your left hand now, and whatever you're doing to move, you're moving things with your dominant hand. So you just do it like that, and now that's not going to unscrew when you're knitting it. Don't get lazy.
Gently. Yeah. Don't force it,
don't
because
force it.
you break the...
Yeah. So the kit comes, I'm just going to show as well before I forget. The kit comes with tips, and the tips are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 set of tips. I'm just going to show you. So there's 12 tips. This is a artificial leather case, so it's a nice black case. It also comes in a jean case, like jeans denim case. But this has 12 sets of needles, and they're 5-inch tips, starting from US number 4 and ending with US number 17, which is a bit of an obscure size. But if you're somebody who uses thick wool, this would actually come in handy. This is 12 millimeters. So it's pretty much all you need. I mean, unless you're a sock knitter. So, and cords. 1, 2. Oh, lots of cords. I can tell you from, so there's 2 cords. This is 32-inch, I think. So there's 2 cords that are 32-inch. 1 cord, like 2 much longer cords. I don't, you know what, I may have to look in the package. There's 48-inch cord, and there's 32-inch cord, and 1 24-inch cord. So it pretty much covers
everything.
I'm also going to have a blog entry for this, where, you know, you guys can read everything that I'm going to talk about, right? So I'm gonna copy and paste the specs so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But they come in and these are very similar to, in fact I think they're the same, and they we're gonna talk about this later, but I think it's the same cords as Knit Pro, which is a good thing, I think, because it adds a bit of more compatibility. And the cords come with keys and stoppers, so same as, I'm trying not to muck up everything because someone's going to use it. So there's stoppers and keys, so you got everything you need pretty much. So now that I've put together, this is needle that I've had from before. Next thing I'm going to talk about, so it's easy, that's how you put it together, it's pretty easy. Next thing I'm going to talk about is what I really liked about these needles, is that there's a large gap in the market when it comes to wooden needles. And these are, compared to knit picks, these are actually solid wood. Now knit picks is laminated wood. So laminated wood is a product that has layers and layers of wood stuck together with you know, some kind of glue, or I don't know, something. So it's a very stable material. This is solid birch. No, it's not real driftwood. It's just a name. You know, people actually think it's driftwood. Like someone's walking around and finding driftwood birch. No, it's just the color. And what I really like about these is I don't know about you, but I wasn't a huge fan of the earlier reincarnations of this rainbow needles. I'm not really a rainbow kind of person, you know, like this is very distracting to me.
Oh, I have a darker.
I know, she's got knit, this is knit picks, right? She's got a knit, show your Knit Pro kit. I'm not too crazy about this, so I really like the color of driftwood needles because it sort of gives you more neutral.
So it's
Neutral, yeah. The darker ones are not too bad.
so yeah, this is the darker.
So this is the darker flavor, right? Yeah, but I mean, I like the. And another thing, because they're a different material, this is birch impregnated with resin, so it still has a coating on it. It's not just a plain wood needle, but because it's a different material, they feel much smoother than Knit Picks or Knit Pro. I have both, and the Knit Pro feel a little bit, I mean, they're okay, but they feel a little bit more plasticky and squeaky than this. This is a lot smoother. This has a bit more squeaky feeling to it. I mean, if you're going to be a connoisseur and kind of compare points by points. As far as the profile tip goes, these are midway in between Clover, which is very dull, and Knit Pro is very, not the recent one, yeah. But yeah, Clover I think is
the
still
older Clover.
The older Clover, yeah. And between this, which is sharp, I think this is Knit Pro actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Knit Pro, yeah. So it's sort of midway between, and I think it's a really good tip for somebody who's doing, you know, not super hard lace. Like it's good to kind of get in the stitches, but it's not dull like a lot of people don't like dull needles. I do, but these ones are Knit Picks and they're very dull.
Oh yeah.
See how different the tip is? The tip is very different. You can actually tell how different it is. The slant is different and the length of the tip is different. But another thing I really like is how there's virtually no transition between the cord and the needle, which is a challenge with a lot of interchangeables, because it's two parts screwing in together, and sometimes you will feel that join. The join here is virtually seamless. And I've knit with them, and you know, and there's a lifeline, so it's the same cord as, I'll just show you. This is the Knit Pro cord, and it's the same cord. So why am I saying this? I'll show you something. This actually screws in this cord. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because, completely fine. Because if you just want to try it out, I think you can get a pair of tips and screw them in your cords, and you can try it out and then, you know, judge for yourself. And I bet you're gonna want to buy a whole kit, because it's a nice little kit. And I'm not like, I don't knit with wooden needles, right? I only knit with Clovers. This is the only time where I've actually wanted to buy a few tips of this, because I'm not, she likes wood needles.
Yeah, I like wood.
But
Suzanne's particularly.
Well, Suzanne's are different. I like Suzanne's, but Suzanne's are not impregnated with anything. They're not coated with anything. They're just wood, and they feel very rough, like they're not smooth at the beginning. But this is like, usually resin impregnated I don't like, but this one is different. It's a very nice feel, and I can tell that this is a popular needle for a good reason, you know, for that. They've really done a good job on this. I virtually can't really tell anything negative about this, to tell you the truth, except for the fact that, I'm just gonna unscrew it. So you just unscrew it the same way. Whatever you're moving, you know, just keep one stationary and one, you know.
You should use the key. You cannot unscrew it.
Yeah, use the key. Don't try to force it, because it's, yeah. It's very important with the interchangeables to be able to keep them in good condition, and these types of interchangeables, you really need to use a key. So the only thing I wished that this kit had, and again, this is, I think, is one of those things that some people like it and some people don't, is swivel. I'm a huge fan of swivel. But these kits usually don't swivel, like the cords are. But then, you know, some people don't like it, like you don't care, and some people actually don't like it.
I really don't care.
So it's not really a negative thing. It's more like you know,
preference.
Yeah, it's more of a preference. Yeah. So I use Clover and Clover swivels, but Clover is not as smooth as this, and it's pretty dull. So it's a completely different needle with a different properties. So here you have it, and I think that if you're not a big fan of the rainbow needles, these are really nice because you get solid wood and you get this nice wooden grain, and they look nice, they feel like they're natural product, which they are, and they're a little bit more aesthetically pleasing because they've got black here and the cords are black, and it sort of has that more of a earthy appeal to it, I think.
They only have one color? They don't
Yes,
have
yeah.
lighter, like
No,
darker?
no,
Okay.
no. And they're all different. Like you can tell, I'm just gonna, now I don't know which cord is which. I think this was, yeah, this was my cord. They all vary in terms of their, you know, because this is real wood, it'll vary. Like some tips are lighter than others, right? And some darker, and so it's a really nice kit. I've had a lot of, you know, a lot of fun trying it out. And the kit itself has a pocket for all your accessories, you know, the tips and, sorry, the cords and, actually no, this is one pocket that's empty, never mind. You can put whatever you want in there, you can put your stitch markers. This is a pocket with cords and stoppers and keys. So, and there's another little kit that just came out with 3.5-inch tips, which are not my thing because they're too short for my hands, but this is actually a really compact kit, you know. So one lucky winner will get this. How do you enter a giveaway? So I'm going to be posting this on Instagram, and the rules are going to be like this. You're going to have to repost, you're going to have to follow us, like the post, and follow Knitting Fever, but I'm gonna list it all in the post, and one lucky winner it'll probably run for a few days, and we'll pick a winner randomly, and they will get the kit. And we're really excited for this opportunity because I love trying new tools. I mean, this is sort of, I think I've tried every single needle except for signatures. Yeah. Yeah, I tried that.
But you got the signatures.
No, I don't. No, no,
never?
no.
Oh,
No, I don't.
What did you sell? Remember?
I sold DX. DX, yeah. So I tried DX. Where this is sort of a background thing. Is there's a real gap in the solid wood needle. Actually, they weren't solid wood. They were laminated. They were laminated wood.
Who got burned? Yeah.
They didn't get burned. The fire. The supplier of the American supplier of the laminated wood got burnt, and they don't want to go with Chinese or Indian product, so they don't make wooden needles anymore. No,
okay.
But their needles were they're from laminated wood. The solid wooden needles, I can only think of Lantern Moon and Suzanne's at this point, and these ones. So these are the only ones that are solid wood that I can think of. Actually, I think Knitter's Pride makes solid wood tips like this, but I haven't seen them in North America.
I remember those rosewood. Who made this rosewood?
Oh, Knitpicks has solid rosewood kit, but I'm not a huge fan. I had it and I sold it. I just didn't like it for some reason. It didn't, you know, the way they felt wasn't, you know, or Colonials, but they're out of business, I think. Yeah, I remember I had a kit, Colonials. Yeah, I sold it too. And they're solid wood, and they're pretty nice, but I didn't like the join and the cords.
And rosewood is with a gold end.
No, they had, I think some of them had gold ends and some of them had black ends. But right now what happens is a lot of these companies are out of business, or they stop making the product, and so we only have Suzanne's, which is virtually unavailable on the North American market, or unknown of, you know, and they're not smooth, so a lot of people don't like that, and they're dull. So it's when you're thinking about solid needle, you're pretty much left with this brand.
Not really dull. I do have
some of them. They're inconsistent. I like them, but
they're dull. Actually,
well, these ones are dull. I had a pair that was actually sharp, and I dulled it. So this is how dull they come. See how this is very, very dull. But
use them for the.
But you know what's nice about them? They're natural. They're not coated with anything.
Very nice.
And because they're rosewood, they're gonna smooth out nicely because it's a very dense wood. They make ebony too. And Lantern Moon, I'm not a huge fan of the join. The join ruins it for me completely. So I'm kind of with the wooden needles. I think these are probably your best bet at this point. In terms of appeal, wide appeal, and because they work with the cords, which most people have. Even I have these cords, and I don't use Knit Pro, but I have.
And they widely available, those cords.
Yeah.
In
So
any store.
Exactly.
Store,
Yeah. So if you got yourself 3 or 4 tips, or 1 tip to try, and you've got a bunch of cords at home, you can go even to your local yarn store and get some cords there and plug them in, and you can try these needles, and you know, and before you buy a kit, and then you know if it works for you or not. And you know what, you're probably gonna love them because I even
they are nice.
They are nice. They feel nice. I like the coating. The coating, I think, makes a whole difference. So yeah, I'm gonna make a blog post about this too. So
and we post in our group.
Yeah, we're gonna post on our group too. So we're definitely excited to give this away. You know, because this is you know, everyone is raving about these. Everyone's after these, and they're so nice for Instagram photos too, because they've got this wood. You know, they look so nice. They're like a double, you know, roll kind of thing, a needle and a prop, right? So I just like trying new tools.
Yeah.
I actually don't have that many needles anymore.
Oh yeah.
No, I have a lot of needles, but they're all clover. So yeah, but that's about it.
Yeah. By the way, we're drinking our local.
Oh yes, cider, Okanagan cider. I've never had this brand before.
Really?
No. I've had, I think, every other brand, but not this one. But you know, honestly, it all tastes the same to me.
Me too, but it's a local and
by the way, in the Okanagan, they don't have this kind of sky. It all blue over here.
yeah,
It's nice and sunny there. Nice sunny blue skies.
with
And
their
here we got
fires,
this-
and we got the result of
Yeah,
their fires.
even Seattle and Portland, it's just terrible. It's like it's not so good. Not so good. We're hoping to get some actual sun and more, you know, fresh air, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, they extend the
Air quality advisory, yeah. So a lot of people with asthma, whatever, they can't even breathe right now. I don't have any issue, but I know a lot of people don't want to go outside and, you know, go for a walk in this weather.
But they said it's not healthy even to.
No,
normal
it's not.
people go
I can't smell
outside.
any smoke though, but it's definitely not the healthiest thing to do right now to you know, to breathe that in. So yeah, no, it doesn't seem healthy. Oh, yeah, so if you have, even I was going to show you, if you have the cords, I know a lot of people don't know this, but all these cords, this is a Knit Picks cord, this is a Knit Pro or Knitter's Pride or whatever, they all work with LYKKE.
Yeah.
Actually. So, if you are a Knit Picks, you know, Knit Picks lover, and I mean a lot of people have them, it'll most likely work. You may have to struggle a bit. Actually, I didn't have to struggle at all.
No, you don't have to
So-
struggle.
No. There you go. Like, it's absolutely... This is really exciting because you can actually try these before buying them. A lot of kits, like, they kind of expect you to go out on a limb. So before buying a whole kit, you can buy a tip
One
for
tip,
$7 and try it out, and then you know whether it
If
works
you
for
like it,
Yeah.
so then you get the
You're gonna
whole
like it.
tip.
You're gonna like it. I mean, even I like it, and I don't even use wooden needles. I don't even know why I have these cords. I gave her some of my cords.
Yeah.
I had more cords.
Oh, I'm buying cords all the time because I'm always short
Yeah.
for cords.
I know. Cords aren't really, something that... I wish I could, you know what? I wish I could knit with short tips. Like, really. Not like this, but LYKKE tips are shorter than this.
Oh.
They are like half an inch shorter than this.
No, I cannot work with the
Yeah.
short.
So I wish I could get the short kit. Oh gosh, it's so cute. Did you guys see the short LYKKE kit? It's like a wallet. So cute. But I can't knit with them. So I didn't buy it. I think I'm just gonna get a few tips for myself. and that's gonna be my, you know, put them in this case. And I know I have this. I have a Russian leather case for needles that I got 2 years ago. It was my biggest indulgence. Yeah. Very unique product. Nobody has it in this continent.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think they shipped a couple of people, but they don't take PayPal, so it's a...
Oh, really?
No, because I bought it through somebody I know, remember?
Mm-hmm.
She paid and I paid her. Yeah, no, they still don't, you know, Russia and PayPal are kind of...
Behind the progress.
Yeah, behind... Well, I don't know, I think it's a PayPal issue, because they want you to have an American credit card, or a Canadian credit card, or some kind of...
Because it's a kind of warranty that
Yeah.
you can pay them, but...
Yeah, if you don't, which a lot of people in the Eastern Europe don't, maybe, you know. But maybe it's a good thing, because if a lot of these stores took PayPal,
yeah, then...
I'd be shopping there all the time, because the prices there are just, they're funny. That's the word.
Yeah,
They're funny.
funny price.
Because
yeah.
this case was actually just a little bit more expensive than Twig and Horn case, which is not leather. Just a little bit more, like $20 more expensive, and this is like leather inside and out. So, you know, it's you kind of, the prices are just, yeah, it's because the standard of living is slightly different. So maybe it's a good thing I don't shop there all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, wow, it's a really short. It's because you don't have anything to
Yeah,
talk about.
I didn't need to. I did some crochet, but I didn't bring the projects. But yeah, I really don't wanna need. I don't know. It's because of the weather or because of my very intense vacation in Europe. I don't know. Maybe it will come back. I slowly start to pick up my older project and trying to finish, but believe me, I don't have any interest.
That's
But don't worry,
crazy.
I
We're
will
gonna talk
bring-
about this podcast.
Oh, don't worry. I'll show my crochet.
No,
project.
you know what? She goes through this every summer. She starts crocheting every summer.
Yeah, I love crochet, and there's so many possibilities with crochet. So many beautiful
that's true.
patterns, and my daughters, they are like crochet, my crocheters. So
They like
ask
wearing
me-
crochet
Yes,
stuff.
yes,
They
yeah.
don't like crocheting.
No, they don't
Yeah.
like doing these, but they ask me to do for them some.
Because it's in fashion. Well, it's been in fashion for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
So, you know, it'll come back. I think it's just gonna take. You know, now it's really hot now. It doesn't really.
I think nobody really needs in the summer.
Yeah, there's tons of people knitting on Instagram. Everybody knits.
No, I heard we are too lazy, we are too hot to pick up the wool, and it's not really. It depends where. If they live in Iceland, yeah, of course, and in England, believe me, in London, they have like real London weather. No sun, rainy and cold. People wear the jacket, the down jackets when I was there, and it's compared to
Oh my God!
Milan, Italy, where was extremely
But see, people
hot.
there knit in Spain. Like they knit.
Yes, they do.
That's surprising, isn't it? They knit with wool.
They
I mean,
knit,
that's
they dye wool yarn, and
that's bizarre. That's just
and I have actually 3 or 4 testers from Spain.
yeah. I sometimes have testers from Italy or Spain or Portugal.
No, Italy, the northern Italy,
It's cold.
they get
They get cold
snow.
weather. Yeah.
But I doubt they get snow in Spain. Maybe it's the same kind of
Mm-hmm.
orientation on the map for the Spain, but for some reason I never heard they.
There's
have
no
the
mountains,
snow.
I guess. Or maybe
No,
there
they
is.
do have
They do have
mountains. Yeah, between Spain and France, they do have mountains, and in France they have the ski resort in those mountains, but I doubt they have in Spain.
Well, you know, the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. That's what it reminds me of. No, it's just it's sometimes like I'm actually kind of curious to see like a lot of these people they live in a climate when it's really hot and they still like do they get to wear these things or
Obviously, yes.
in the winter maybe because their winter is probably like plus plus 15 or something which is cold
Yeah,
for
but
them,
you
right?
can wear the
Yeah.
winter
Yeah.
cardigan, like
Yeah.
wool cardigan, no problem.
Not worsted wool, but
Yeah, I don't think they need with worsted wool. But they travel a lot, remember?
yeah, that's true. They do
People in
travel a
Europe
lot.
travel a
They
lot.
travel. You sometimes forget about it because it's so close and it's so accessible for them to to go from a country A to country B and so on.
They
so
can
forth,
drive. They can
and they can
fly.
even drive,
They,
fly, or everything's so
Yeah,
close. Yeah, we kind of forget that because we live very far away from everybody here. Even on the as far as the continent goes, like we're on the west coast, which is
and fly from us
Yeah.
even to closest place like in BC. It's much more expensive
Oh,
than
yeah,
fly
I know.
over the different country
know.
in Europe. So it's just a matter of the cost.
the flights in Canada are really expensive. Even from us to go to like Kelowna, which is it's only a 4 or 5 hour drive. Like, how much is the ticket? It's over.
It's never less than 100.
Yeah.
And I never pay 100 for flying from London. You can
Yeah.
basically fly for 15 pounds everywhere in Europe. For 15 pounds.
Yeah, we don't have prices like that. We don't. No. But our distances are way bigger here. This is the second
I
largest country in the
mean,
world.
if you fly, for example, from London to Malta, it's actually
Oh, it's further, yeah.
maybe
Yeah, you're
three hours flight, and you still can get like for 20 pounds.
That's crazy. How do they make money?
I don't know. It's
That's just crazy. But you know what? I mean, yeah, we forget about that because they travel a lot there. It's something that even the like other knitwear designers, they're always traveling and going to all these festivals and
Nobody let me. I would like to travel, and I know that you can get the cheap tickets.
You know what? We can start slow. Like for example, I didn't tell you, but there's Vogue Knitting Live in Seattle in November.
You know what? I rather fly than drive to Seattle. I rather
can
fly
fly.
to London,
We
not
can-
to
we
Seattle.
can fly.
You can fly for same money to London.
No, it's further. I mean, it's more work. Seattle is so close. It's almost like Vancouver. But anyways, we can start.
Yeah, but who would drive? Nobody let
No,
me
we can
drive.
fly to Seattle.
To fly to
Yeah,
Seattle.
we can fly from Bellingham. You know.
And
Get-
how we get to the Bellingham?
Okay,
Who
we can
would
fly.
drive
We can fly from here.
Vancouver, from Abbotsford. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
YVR. You just fly to Seattle.
No, actually, this girl who was visiting my daughter from
Yeah.
London, she took a bus from Central Station in Vancouver.
Oh, I know.
and
In
she
Main,
took
on
a
Main
bus
Street.
to
Yeah.
Seattle,
Yep.
and then she got back by train.
Oh,
I don't know
yes.
how much train
We
cost.
should do this. We should do Amtrak train to Seattle. Vogue Knitting Live. You know what? We're gonna look into this.
Interesting.
We
How
should do
much it
this. Yeah,
cost?
we should do this. Well, trains. I mean, like I said before, like trains. Where I grew up, trains are the cheapest methods of transportation. But I don't know what they are here, but they're so cheap in Russia. So cheap.
No, here is not cheap, but we
But it's
should
not gonna be cheap,
compare
but-
the prices bus versus train, and train is much more comfortable.
Well,
to
train is more
travel
fun than the
with.
bus. It's
Yeah,
more
for
fun
sure.
and it's faster. It doesn't get stuck in traffic. It's got a dedicated rail.
Exactly.
So train is better. I
We
mean,
should
it's
check this
yeah.
option.
Amtrak is a really good option.
So when this is
This is in
for
November. We should look into it because if the tickets are sold out, then we might as well. Yeah. So we should do this. Actually, my husband suggested it, and then I was like,
really?
yeah, and then I was like, Natalia's husband's not gonna let her drive to Seattle.
Oh, for sure. No, for some reason, my
And I
husband
don't drive.
doesn't believe me.
And I don't
He's a
drive.
good driver.
And I don't drive.
I'm
As
like
in-
one trick pony. I only can get myself from my home to my
work.
work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
This road I know very well.
I think you could
every
go to
car.
Seattle. I think it's not that hard. It's the same, like it's the one highway. It's only 2 hours away from here.
No, the drive like between Vancouver to the suburbs of Seattle, it's no problem. But then in Seattle, with all those
the traffic, yeah.
lanes,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I
I
not
wonder what
used
hotel.
to
You
it.
know what? After we're wrapping up this episode, me and her are gonna go online and check this
And
out.
check
it out. Oh, my son's back. It's time to wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So don't forget to follow us, to like the post, in order to win LYKKE needles. Okay. Bye.
Bye.